the mental health and stability, uh, the spiritual balance and emotional well-being of people in America and even globally on a global scale, it really comes into play. Earlier in the day I had made a post, and the post said, um, "Who?" Okay, I said, "Who helps the strongest person? Who get who does the strongest person turn to for help?" You know, this is where I'm saying, like, when you have people that, when I say strong, like, you have people that routinely give selflessly of themselves to make sure that other people are okay. So they are giving of their financial resources, they're giving of their time, their energy, their attention, their emotions. Um, Everything they can do to keep other people afloat. But, you know, they seem to kind of somehow make it through. But what happens when the strongest individual is in need of help? Who helps them? Or does everybody just walk around thinking that they're okay? They'll be okay. They'll make it out. You know. So that was one part. Then it got me to thinking about just the overall mental health, spiritual well-being, and emotional stability of the average person in America and globally. Every time you turn around, you're hearing about people committing suicide. You're seeing people snapping. You're seeing people commit mass murder. People killing themselves online on social media, and it's like, man, what's really going on? But then, I was watching Tyrese, the singer Tyrese. He had an emotional breakdown online, talking about how I guess he's paying like 13,000 and some change a month in child support, and I believe they want to take his, I believe it's a daughter he has, want to take his daughter from him. I don't know the specifics and the intricacies behind his domestic case, but he broke down in tears, and he saying, like, how much can he give, and that the way it sounded was that he was really kind of in financial dire straits, and the thing is, we, for the average person, Tyrese may be above the average Americans earning income, but he is not with the Hollywood and entertainment industry elites. Like, he's not making Russell Crowe money, Will Smith money, Brad Pitt money, things of that nature, and he's definitely not making like executive producers and directors money. Like, he's not making Steven Spielberg money. He's not making Oprah Winfrey money, things of that nature. So he's kind of like a step, 2 or 3 steps above the average person, but he has like notoriety, and so that kind of helps him a little bit. But so he's saying he's paying 13,000 a month. That comes to about almost $156,000 a year just in child support, right? So I'm not gonna put him to blame. I'm not gonna blame his the child's mother or anything like that, because, like I said, I don't know. But what I'm talking about and what I'm addressing is, one, what is the relief for the average American citizen? Not just Tyrese, but look, if you're listening to my voice, what is your relief? Your neighbor's relief, your brother and sister's relief, your mother's and father's relief. The American, the average American, the citizenry of America is we're facing some real dire straits, because what we're seeing is the cost of living constantly rising. You know, expenses are constantly accruing. One thing that is not constantly rising is the pay rate. The pay rate, the pay scale is not rising for the average American worker. Human labor is not getting paid. In fact, corporations and businesses, they want to stagnate that. They want to solidify wages so that it doesn't rise. If they were to have it their way, they would decrease how many dollars per hour you're going to get, or or cut off labor. They want to cut jobs, cut costs. They want to insert automation, digitization, and robotics in for human labor. But then the question becomes, well, of all these humans that are being um, displaced from the job force in the labor market uh, because of you know modernization of robotics, electronics, and technology, and just sheer human greed of corporate owners, where they want to marginalize wages. How do people deal with rising rent? Because rent is constantly rising. Property tax is constantly rising. Income tax is constantly rising. Food prices are constantly rising. The cost of gas, fuel, and energy constantly rising. Okay, they tell people that, listen, you can't even get a job unless you have a damn near bachelor's degree. So you got to get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate degree. Okay, but then the cost of education is constantly increasing. Okay, so how much are you paying in tuition? All right, then you're going to take out student loans. People got to pay back their loans. People are paying car notes. People are paying credit card bills to stay afloat. The food is rising. Daycare is rising. Child care is rising. Health care is rising. Most people have their health insurance tied to the fact that they have employment. And so then if you're unemployed, how much does it cost for a hospital visit? How much does it cost for you to have an emergency room visit? How much does it cost for you to go to the doctor's office and just get a physical or a checkup, or to go to the dentist and get a cleaning done when you don't have insurance to pay for all these type of things? You have to pay your cell phone bill. You have to pay your electricity bill. All of these things are constantly rising, and they are stressors. They are factors into how people are functioning. You can't rest well when you have something that's nagging on your shoulder. Okay, so these are the things that I'm like, we're not. I'm not, like I said, I'm not pointing the fingers at parents per se. Like you have Tyrese, you have other parents that are not famous, just the average Joe Blow that goes that you just don't know, but he's your neighbor, and they're taking care of the parental duties. Some are not taking care of their parental duties, but it is the fact that, look, how is the average citizen coping with living in America? Because everything, like I said, is constantly rising. Resources are becoming scarce, and they're becoming scarce partly also because the major corporations are hoarding everything. You have Nestle and a lot of other corporations that are privatizing water resources on this in America. You have a lot of major corporations that are buying up thousands and millions of acres of land. Where are you to live? Where are you to get your water from, your food from? Uh, so it makes you just think and wonder, like, man, how do you get by? What is your relief? What's your coping strategies and mechanisms to make it through the day? And I don't think we're really having these real discussions. It's easy for us to indulge in entertainment because entertainment is escapism. Entertainment is escapism. Entertainment is escapism. Comedy, we can laugh to keep from crying, but when the TV is off, when your phone is off and charging, but one thing isn't off: bills that are due. What How are we dealing with that inner stress, especially when it compounds exponentially? What do we do? I think we need to start having these discussions more frequent, more often, and it needs to be out in the public. These are things we really, really need to be discussing. We can have all these online debates about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and we could talk about what Kevin Hart did. We could we do all these other things, but the real stuff that I'm talking about, what I was saying just a few minutes ago, man, we got to have enough of this, enough conversation about this, because I don't think we really are engaging this, and I think millions of Americans are stressing every day, and this is why people are snapping and going off and committing suicide, committing homicide, people getting locked up, you know. So, the other thing I posted was, look, we keep one thing is we dealing with immediate crisis, immediate crisis where people can face extinction in 24 hours, but we're being told to believe in long-term solutions. Like, man, people are facing eviction in the next 24 hours. You got people in custody that need bail money in 24 hours. Um, you've got real stuff, and one thing that people say is, well, go to college, get you a degree, get you some stocks and invest over time, and let that accrue over time, and get you an education and learn you a trade. And listen, that's well and good. Those are long-term strategies, but you needing a 4-year degree doesn't solve what is immediate. By tomorrow, if you don't have this money, you're out on the street with your family. Where are you going to go? If you don't have that bail money, guess what? You're going to be locked up for real, for real. And if you can't afford a lawyer, you're going to be in there perpetually until you can. You're going to be in custody, and who knows what goes on behind those walls. We saw what happened with Khalif Browder. People are in some real dire straits, and we're not talking about it. We laughing, playing, joking. We got to have these conversations. But anyway, I didn't want to go too long, but just wanted to talk about that. So hopefully this stimulates some type of conversation. And with that being said, I'm out. This is Dr. Samori Swygert getting it in with you on this Wednesday evening. Okay, take care. Hope all is well. Meditate, pray, try your best to relax. If you have to do your yoga, if you have to do your running, if you have to work out, if you have to cry, do what you need to do. But please, try to maintain your sanity and your spiritual peacefulness. Your inner sanctum is the only thing that you do have on this earth. All right.